Okay, so I work at Intersection. My name is Joshua Grosby. I'm a senior test engineer. Intersection is a Sidewalk Labs owned company, which is also owned by Alphabet. We deliver products such as Link Wi-Fi kiosks in New York, London. We're also deploying to other countries as well. And MTA on the go, and also doing product work for large telecom companies, the Hudson Yards redevelopment, large retail, and also real estate companies. So backwards, pardon me. So one of the things I wanted to cover was that automation alone is not enough. What do I mean by that? Well, this. See the trend I'm going towards. Also this. I have a funny story. I have a friend who was a former Link test engineer. His name is Nigel. He used to work on the Link, and one of his coaches was one of the original developers of Selenium. And he asked him one time, "How are you going to automate that?" And he told me that story, and I looked at him and was like, "Really? 911?" That's and also conversational agents. It's a very difficult thing to automate. And how many here have tried to automate Facebook Messenger? Nobody. Yeah, it's a good thing you're not, because it breaks like every other week. It's a bad idea to do it. And on top of that, a conversational agent it branches out into different paths. It could go into different types of branches of conversation, and you want to be able to explore that and be able to reach every path, and then try to trick it and see what it does next. And it's also a great candidate for fuzz testing. So a really quick story. I love stories. I might burn through these slides too quickly. So roughly 8 months ago, I worked on a project that was supposedly only supposed to be 2 months long. And it grew to become a 6-month project with 291 end-to-end test scenarios. And there was only one tester. So out of those 291, I was only able to automate a fourth of it. So for this specific project, I had focused only on creating automation for those 291 TestRail test scenarios. Anyone here not know what TestRail is? Okay, quite a few. So TestRail is a test management tool. It has an API. It's got a lot of great stuff. There's a lot of plugins. There's a whole plugin ecosystem for TestRail. There's plugins for Jenkins. There's plugins for Jira. There's also plugins for other stuff too. There's also libraries in Robot Framework that are supported out there by the community. So a lot of the testing would not have gotten done if I had just automated the whole time. So I needed flexibility. I needed a way to, sorry, the top path is cut off. I needed a way to rapidly search for bugs, so I set up a hybrid manual automated approach and combined it with other tools. For example, I used GitLog to identify bug hotspots, and I generated bug prediction scores for each commit using a machine learning tool called GitRisky. So in this picture here, you could see that this assigned a score to this particular commit of 0.2. And I was testing the conversational agent, and based on my exploration, the pastor failed it. I don't remember what I was doing in that session, but you'll get the gist. So with this manual automated approach, here's some of the code. I am taking TestRail ID from the user, which is linked to Jira, and I'm also taking Jira ID numbers, which I'll be using later, and also basically have the whole screen available to me to the automation tool, because I'll be taking screenshots during failed test runs. So this is what's generated after a session. And if you've done my workshop from the other day for Robot Framework for the Lone Tester, this looks familiar to you. So I stamp it with my name, I stamp it with the project, the task, Jira task, the environment I'm in, the TestRail scenario number, which is cut off there, and build number, what build pipeline, all the information. Taking a screenshot, stamping the Robot Framework is also stamping all the results as well. So really, Robot Framework is more than just test automation. It's also test process automation. It's also a assistant, a tool to help you get your job done a little more efficiently. And this is what happens in TestRail right after I'm done with my session. So with my tool, with my hybrid automated approach, I'm stamping results through the TestRail API, which is filling out my name, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, Jira task. We use BuildKite. It's basically a build pipeline hosted in AWS or wherever you want to host it. Build number, you could put commit, you could put PR number, whatever you want. And this is the core of the connected communities, CXCOM, TestRail, Jira, test process. And also it helped bridge gaps in the test process in general. Robot Framework was crucial at helping developers learn how to think like a tester, helped me hunt down bugs in the trenches. If you want to see the code for the approach, I put it in the workshop repo there. And there's also a link to it in the Slack channel. I also have GraphWalker examples in there as well for model-based testing. So in the not-so-distant future, I'm going to be thinking about session-based test management combined with RPA. Session-based test management was pioneered by the Bach brothers, Jonathan and James. And in the near future, I want to explore Jupyter Notebook. Great job, ASCO, Nicholas. It's a great idea. I'm going to try and look into that. And I want to build tests that learn from each other, basically, and learn from testers. And also generate GraphWalker paths for my parallel running Docker containers that I have in this Medium article right there. So if you can't check that out, that's also in the Robocon Slack channel. So thank you, Robot Framework community. You've made an excellent multi-talented tool.